Hello everyone, I'm Bart here, and welcome to a new movie review. Now it's time to look at the last of the original Star Wars trilogy, and the last of the original VHS version. But some, or many people say that this is the least favorite of them. But is it really so? Well, let's find out with Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. After Han was frozen in carbonite and taken by Boba Fett to the intergalactic gangster Jabba the Hutt, the other heroes tried to rescue him by making bargains and such, but nothing seems to work and everyone's stuck there. Until Luke, who's a Jedi Knight, saves them all and returns to Dagobah to see Yoda. But Yoda dies, and knowing more about Vader being his father, Luke is told to confront him and the Emperor to be a complete Jedi. And so, as Luke goes to fight Vader, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, and the Rebels head to the moon of Endor where the Empire has placed a shield generator for their second Death Star above the moon, and must destroy it for Lando, now a general, is leading a squadron to the Death Star to destroy it. And little creatures on the moon called Ewoks help out the Rebels in fighting the Empire. The one major problem that people have with this film is the opening scenes at Jabba's palace, which goes on for like 20 minutes. It's the one thing that some say doesn't connect to the rest of the film. And yeah, I agree, seeing as how the actual film starts when the Emperor arrives at the second Death Star. But even if Jabba's scenes weren't in the film, then how or where will Han be saved? It mostly exists to show where Han is and the heroes trying to rescue him, and if it's removed, then there would be a huge gap in between Empire and this film. So continuity-wise, it exists for that reason. And at least it comes with very well done moments such as a fight sequence on Jabba's barge and around the Sarlacc pit, a scene with a Rancor monster, Slave Leia, and the Son lapping neck. That's pretty cool, only to be replaced with a new Son in the special edition, which is annoying and just bad. But really, the best scenes that happen occur within the climax of the film. It's the first time that the Star Wars saga presented 3 battles happening within one giant area in the third act, which became a staple for some other Star Wars films to use this format. In this one, there's a battle on Endor where the Rebels and Ewoks fight against Imperial troops and Stormtroopers, as well as AT-ST walkers. Then there's a space battle where Lando, Admiral Akbar, and Rebel fighter pilots fight TIE fighters and Star Destroyers. And there's a lightsaber duel between Vader and Luke, each of which are fun and amazing and end with the heroes doing their main objectives. And all of them have great lines, fun action, and are sometimes kind of intense. It's certainly a good way to not only end the film, but also the trilogy, with lots of very good moments all around. And the effects themselves have improved greatly. They are getting better and better as the films move on, and many of them, despite 1 or 2 obvious distractions, still look well. All the space scenes, the speeder bikes, some of the backgrounds, and even the walkers have improved by being a bit slower, having good physics, and having some practical effects. All in all, the effects are one of the best things in this film and provide many fun aspects. And as for the characters, they have either improved more or are still the same, not to mention the new ones as well. The old characters still have their own charm from the last film, yet some have developed a little more. Vader has gone from being a villain that won't stop at nothing to being a villain that you somehow care for. Because after his reveal of being Luke's father and Luke feels that there's still good in him, it puts Vader in a disarray of being evil yet has a soft spot for being with his son, even though he has to fight him. It's such an interesting complex when having to sympathize with one of the greatest movie villains of all. Luke has become a Jedi Knight and is more wise and fearless, to an extent when it comes to facing his father. Although when Obi-Wan explains more about Vader's past and even revealing that Leia is Luke's sister, Luke becomes very surprised at the fact that the one he rescued is his sibling. Or maybe he's thinking of this. Boy, I can't believe my own sister who I never knew until now gave me that kiss. At least it was satisfying. That's pretty awkward in that regard. And speaking of Leia, she became a little more than just a princess. She tried to rescue Han from Jabba, she kills Jabba with a chain, she becomes friendly with the Ewoks, she's a good fighter, and wears a variety of outfits that look nice on her. And I do feel that at times she looks like my mother. Oddly enough, my mother says I look like Harry Potter minus the glasses. The new characters themselves are pretty interesting. Jabba's sort of a cool character, a slug-like gangster that has a unique history with Han since who knows when. And there has been a bit of build-up for him in the first two films that now to finally see him is impressive. Until the special edition of the first film that showed him and Han in a conversation that was originally in the film, but was cut due to not getting the puppet done on time. But in this movie, he is a pretty good character. The Ewoks are simply the nicest bunch of creatures to be around, having a culture that's almost like how ancient people were, and having to look like cute teddy bears. Though the baby Ewoks are cuter. And they even got their own spin-off show and movies. And I don't think the name Ewok was mentioned until the show, especially Wicket, the main Ewok. Still, they are cute and fun characters. Admiral Akbar is the strangest of characters. He's a calamari who helps Lando in fighting against the Empire to destroy the second Death Star, and his voice is pretty cool and easy to mock. But as strange as his design is, he's not too bad. And the Emperor is another great villain in the Star Wars universe. While he was briefly shown in Empire, his appearance in this film is amazing. He's such a sinister character that is evil in all the right ways, just enticing Luke to join the dark side and being very slick at doing what he does best, manipulating others while embracing the anger and hatred in people and having a creepy yet enjoyable laugh. So he's a great character. And again, I've already gone over the cast from the other two films, but there are a couple of new characters played by new actors, so I'll go over them, and each one did a very nice job. Sebastian Shaw plays Darth Vader, Ian McDermott plays the Emperor, Warwick Davis plays Wicket, Caroline Blackiston plays Mon Mothma, Michael Carter plays Bib Fortuna, Timothy Ambrose performs Admiral Akbar, Larry Ward voices Jabba the Hutt, and Eric Bowersfield voices Bib Fortuna and Admiral Akbar. As a whole, this movie is pretty fun. The characters are great, the story is well done, and the effects are very impressive. Director Richard Marquand has done a terrific job of finishing up the original trilogy in a big way and with loads of enjoyability. Though there are one or two repeats and the opening with Jabba doesn't need to exist, yet they are fairly minor for a film that, for the most part, does go up in scale from the earlier films. Although not quite as epic as in New Hope, but has the same or more weight as Empire Strikes Back. It's pretty hard not to get into this one, as it did conclude the original trilogy very well. And overall, it still succeeds in what it's got and maybe more. So today, this movie will be given a rating of 3.5 stars. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next week for a new video. Hello again. Yes, I'm here to do another review of a movie that I saw in theaters, and to what I thought about it? Well, let's take a look, and I hope you enjoy it. It's time to go over another movie I saw in theaters and one I saw in IMAX. It's the Lego Movie spin-off that's also a Batman movie that of course is called the Lego Batman Movie. The story is about Batman who, after fighting all of Gotham's villains to defuse a bomb, was told by Alfred that he needs to be part of a family again. And so, as being Bruce Wayne, Batman inadvertently adopts Dick Grayson, who would become Robin, and help Batman in sending the Joker to the Phantom Zone, which is not only where many villains are sent to, but where the Joker plans a scheme and uses the other Gotham villains to do so. And thus Batman, along with Robin, Alfred, and Barbara Gordon, go out to take down the Joker together. Director Chris McKay has done a fine job of making a Batman movie that pokes fun of many of the characters' faults and triumphs, while also presenting many characters from the DC Universe, all done in a very entertaining way. Though if it had more heart and maybe even weight to its story, it could have been like the Lego Movie in terms of being fun and creative. Still, despite a fine story as is, the characters are good and the animation is really good. And for someone who finds Batman in general to be okay, yet finds Legos in general to be fun, this one's a nice balance of the two. So today I'm giving this movie a rating of 2.5+ stars. So that is it. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or Twitter, and tune in next week for a new video. And take care.